children, are you ready for our second story? Our second story is about Adam and Eve out of the garden, Genesis chapter 3. We have heard of the first people and of the lovely garden God gave them to live in. They must have been wonderfully happy, yet their story has a sad ending. We do not know how long they lived in that happy garden. Sometimes you hear it called paradise. But they did what God had told them. And they talked to Him just as we talk to our own friends. There was nothing ugly or wrong in their lives. And most of all, they remembered what God had said about the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Then one day a terrible thing happened. The serpent came to Eve when she was near to the forbidden tree and put into her mind the idea that it could really do no harm if she tasted the fruit from the tree. Eve was shocked and she told him at once that God had forbidden it, but that did not stop the serpent. He said something even worse. He hinted that God had told them they could not eat this fruit because He wanted to keep the best things away from them. He said that it was only because God did not want them to be as He, able to know good and evil. So Eve took the beautiful fruit and ate some of it, and gave some to Adam, who ate it too. And straightway they both knew how bad the thing was which they had done, and they were afraid. God had been their friend, now they were afraid to meet Him. Until then, they were naked, but it did not worry them. Now they made themselves clothes by stitching together leaves to cover them. And then, when evening came and the cool evening breezes blew, they heard the voice of God, and quickly they hid themselves among the trees. But it was no use. God called again, Adam, where are you? And Adam had to answer. He said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid away. God answered, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten the fruit I told you not to eat? And then, in his fear and shame, Adam tried to put the blame on Eve, the woman whom you gave me. She gave the fruit, and I ate. God turned to Eve and said, what is this thing you have done? Eve answered, the serpent told me to try the fruit, so I ate some. Then God said to the serpent, because you have misled Adam and Eve, in the future you will not be able to walk like other animals, but you will slither in the dust and the dirt. There will be enmity between you and the woman, and between your children and her children. But one of them will defeat you altogether, because you are the devil. To Eve, he promised that she would have pain and sorrow all her life, and now her husband would have to rule over her because she had done wrong. Adam was told that they would have to leave the garden, and by hard work they would have to dig and plant and make the ground grow the food they needed. From dust they had been made, and when they died, to dust their bodies must go. God still loved them because He made them clothes of skins to keep them warm. But back into the garden they could not go, and from that time on, no person has ever been able to get into the garden.